and today we will be talking about letter work. I'm Christy Hicks here at KVEC, and with me I have
Pam Sloan
and Dana Duff. And so today we are going to be talking about letter work. And one of the strongest predictions of future reading ability, Mari Clay states in her Literacy Lessons Designed for Individuals, second edition. And we will be talking more about how important letter work is and what we can do to help our students through the lesson. Letter identification, or letter ID. This is a short segment of a reading recovery lesson, and during this time, we are fostering fast access to visual information. And as Mari Clay says it in her book, Literacy Lessons Designed for Individuals, second edition, she says, speedy access to visual information in print is of the greatest importance in literacy learning. As you begin to engage learners with the earliest literacy tasks, their fast visual perception of letters form by building up a network of links between what is seen and what is heard. That is, the sounds of language. Teaching at this early stage provides the foundation for later progress. Letter work should be a part of every lesson in a child's series of lessons. Acquisition of letter knowledge. One of the strongest predictors of future reading ability. Let's take these dogs, for example. Quickly, by looking at the picture, I just want you to think of some ways that you could categorize these dogs. I mean, there's some obvious ways that we could categorize these dogs. You got height, color, age. One has a collar, the other three doesn't. There's different ways that you could categorize this. Well, we can do these with letters as well. So in the next few slides, I'm going to show you how some examples, actually, of how this can be done. So take these letters here, C and G. Look at them, and I want you to think about how similar they are. As you can see, the C and the G similarities is they both have the same starting point. They both have the same path movement. The only difference, of course, is the C stops and the G continues up and over. C and O, same thing here. About similar starting points, same path movement. The only difference is you keep going with an O to close it up. F and P, same starting point, same path movement in a way. You can see how similar these letters can be and how confusing they could be for students that are learning to read or learning their letters. So it brings us to this next slide, learning letters. Exposure to letters is not enough. And as you can see, children must pay attention to the letters. It's not about this is A is apple, B is ball. It is more than just knowing the name of a letter. Children must pay attention to these letters. In order to pay attention, the child must want to pay attention. It's all about really paying attention from going from left to right, knowing all the details of the letters. If one starts with a circular motion, if one goes from top to bottom, if one hangs below the line. These are all different features of letters that are important while learning them. Mari Clay says, attention is learned and can be improved. Attention is increased when students are motivated and successful, and active engagement is critical. So the active engagement is critical, and to get kids enticed in learning or whatever. That's why we use these different ways of teaching, using magnetic letters, writing them, using whiteboards, different creative ways, writing in sand, using sandpaper, and different ways like that. So why are there directional rules for reading and writing? Orientation of a letter is very important. Remember, kids, kids, they turn them around, it becomes a totally different letter. And that's why orientation is so very important. Marie Clay says that repeated errors strengthen brain connections and increase the chance that the neural network will use that route again. So that's why it's very important that they know the orientation of a letter. So on the next few slides, we're going to see some letters, and we're just going to think about how all these letters are similar. All these letters, of course, they have similar starting points. The next row, similar starting points as well. Look at the third row. All these start like down, up, over. Take a look at this fourth row. A V, Y, W, X, and a different kind of Y, lowercase. And they're all angle letters. And U doesn't really fit a pattern.
The beginning reader and writer has to learn how to attend to the particular features that help all of us to distinguish letters one from another. Let's take a look at this next slide. Can you predict what letter this will be? What do you think? Are you getting close? Did you guess an A? As I just showed you, looking left to right is very essential. However, not all students look left to right. Some may look right to left when they begin to read or write, or look at letters, which impedes fast visual recognition of letters and words. Let's look at this letter moving right to left. Can you tell what it is yet? Letter features are very important when learning to read and write. As Marie Clay tells us, talk does not help much in making these distinctions. The learner must attend to familiar letter features until each letter can be rapidly distinguished from all similar letters. Children must be provided all sorts of opportunities and modalities to become familiar with letters. Fast recognition of letters allows the reader to make faster decisions about words. Let's look at choosing a letter to teach. When most of the letters are not known, the choice will be guided by what might be easy to tackle next. Where are we going to look? We're going to look at our letter ID and cap that you did in your observation survey. Early on in lessons, the teacher must support the child in their letter learning. So some of the ways that you can do this is by movement. The teacher would hold the child's hand and guide him, and this identifies the letter by movement. Also, use your words. Say things like down and around or up, down, and around. This is a verbal description of movement. Also, the visual form, of course, the teacher would write the letter and model that. This provides the child with a visual model and dramatizes the sequence of construction. And of course, the teacher would ask the child to write that also. Remember, fast recognition of letters allows the reader to make faster decisions about words. Remember, letter work is not just an activity, there must be a purpose.
We'll holler at you later.